Finding hope in a big city. How London smiled at me. Little things that can make life in a big city easier. Life in a big city can be hard. Sometimes we're desperate for hope. So this is London. Nobody's judging and nobody cares. This statement may sound familiar to many Londoners. You can wear whatever you want and people won't probably give you strange looks. You can cry on the tube and people won't probably give you strange looks. However, when you trip over, when you're in a rush to catch your train, people may not care or notice either. This is both liberating and scary. This is both hopeful and hopeless. So do people in London/big cities care about others? Are you desperate for hope if you live in an urban jungle? Let me tell you a story. London, an anonymous city. In London, there's a lot going on. You can meet a lot of people. You can go to plenty of events. There's also a lot of chaos and information to keep track of. Therefore, Londoners may get desensitized by the sheer amount of everything. Sadly, yet another person reported dead under the train may be background noise. What may attract more attention is the announcement which tube lines have been suspended as a result of it. Hearing sad news is not convenient. It may inspire questions. Did the dead one fall under the train by accident? Were they pushed by the crowds? Did they commit suicide? If they did commit suicide, why did that person take their life? As a consequence, it may be more convenient not to think about the imperfect world and the harsh realities of big city life. But is ignorance bliss? Does denying pain serve us? May we discover at some point that we're becoming less human? London life. Ignorance is an illusion. Living in a metropolis like London doesn't mean people are entitled to a lack of empathy. Ignorance is an illusion. Illusion is the first of all pleasures. But eventually, illusion becomes a source of pain for those who choose to believe in it time and time again. Short-term gain, long-term pain. The distractions and excitement of living in a big city can help you ignore many harsh realities of life. Unfortunately, indifference and ignorance may reflect your own deepest feelings of emptiness. The good news is that caring about other people doesn't mean you have to drown in the tragedies of this world. Rather, it's about stepping into another person's shoes and understanding their perspective. It's not about ignoring. It's about knowing. It's about seeing us in them. The City of London smiles at you. One day, walking in the corporate city of London, I was watching people in suits. It was at the time when I lost my job and was wondering whether my next job should be like my previous one. I was fed up with office politics and corporate BS. I was also fed up with London. On that day, the people in the City of London were either rushing to places, having their sandwiches on the move, or staring straight ahead, blankly. I was also staring at their faces and into their eyes. Interestingly, nobody noticed I was watching them. On that day, I didn't see happy employees in the City of London. I used to think most of them had dream jobs. What I saw on that day were exhausted zombies and robots acting as if on autopilot. But something amazing happened too. Quite unexpectedly, London gave me a gift. The smile in the city of London. While walking around the city, I entered a more deserted area near the Gherkin. I was walking along an empty pathway when a lady on a bike started approaching me from the opposite direction. I looked at her face. In fact, I looked at many faces on that day. But it was at that moment when somebody gave me the most warm-hearted, sincere smile. A smile in the city of zombies. A single smile, so little and so much at the same time. I needed that smile badly. I had been in zombie mode for a few years myself. I needed to wake up. I wanted to start noticing the people and world around me. It was time for me to see them for the first time. That smile was a new beginning. The ruthless London machine, in my mind at that time, had a human heart after all. It was my personal moment of promiscuity in a big city. This intimate smile exchange with a complete stranger was my one-day stand in London, and it did make my day. This was London. This was my London. To conclude, it's about seeing us and them. I love London, but I don't live there anymore. And I'm not in zombie mode anymore. Frankly, I don't miss it for a single second. I'm not desperate for hope anymore. I found it that day in the city of London. Then I left London and everything changed. If you're desperate for hope or a smile that can change everything, keep your eyes wide open. See the world around you. I will finish with a poem. Compassion. When I try to understand you, I get to better understand myself. I can see what blocks me, what stops me, what creates my hell. I can see what puts me in my own prison. This is not your fault. I see you're a different me, and you show me what I do by default. This is my projection. If I choose to blame you, this is my blame. Your joy is my joy. Your anger is my anger. Your pain is my pain. I see myself in you. In your eyes, I see my own eyes. You're a different me. Seeing the truth, my heart cries. We are all interconnected. We're not separate, isolated entities. We can see what we truly are if we go beyond our fixed identities. Trying to put myself in your shoes is not a waste of time. It's the end of all problems. Everything is good. Everything is fine. If you like this story, I encourage you and I invite you to subscribe to my channel. If you have any thoughts or experiences that you would like to share, please use the comment section below. Thank you very much for listening.